Now the sheriff. The leader facilities changes probably will be included in the patch notes, Prox Macintosh. I don't know how full the patch notes are, but
Yeah, it would be weird not to include them.
yeah.
So yeah, I would be surprised if they're not there.
Oh, it's a little dark now. Okay, so now we're gonna go over what the sheriff changes are, and then you'll notice again. What I've done is I've put in a passive here for the shooting range too. So very similar to the action that you can currently take on live with the Warlord's Armory. You now have improved gun accuracy, basically like from cleaning and from practice at the shooting range. You now have improved gun accuracy across your community. Now, what that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot, like when you're talking about these assault rifles, because their accuracy is really great when you're firing the first shot or so. But if you fire full auto, it often goes a little bit awry. Now, it doesn't go quite as awry now, and you'll notice that also, if you look, like the spread, the spread of the bullets, like where they're going, even when you're prep, it's a little bit better. Shotguns are a little easier to see, but I don't have any shotguns on me right now.
The place where I'm actually looking forward to that improvement is with pistols, because I tend to run, like, a lot of the time I'll carry like a big heavy assault rifle for if I get in massive trouble, if I need to fight a juggernaut or a plague heart. But I actually use a pistol for most of my just moment to moment, just kill a zombie to get it out of my way type situations, and those can sometimes be frustrating because they have a much wider initial sort of spread to them when you're just aiming a pistol around. It doesn't get as tight even when you're taking your first shot, and so having an improvement to accuracy overall feels like it would make my pistols a lot more viable than they were.
Yeah, and you'll notice like there are a lot of things in here that you can shoot, but there's always like, hey, here's some targets, and I don't know, I've been to some shooting ranges, and when you practice a lot, you do get a lot better, and you start cleaning those guns, and you have to like do the maintenance and all of that fun stuff, and that certainly helps in a lot of ways, not just your own strength of arm, but then also like keeping your ability to shoot the weapon straight, and the weapon actually gets better over time, in a lot of cases. So anyway, that was part of my thinking. There is the sheriff. It seems like they really should have something else that like allows you to practice, right? Like, what is it that you're training for, and what is it that you're doing? Now the big thing about the sheriff is this thing right here. So the field hospital has always been a really great facility, and I went and made it a little bit better. When it first goes out, it may not work 100% perfectly, but it probably will eventually. I think we've got a hot fix going in for this issue. But this plus 15 influence per day is actually not just plus 15 influence per day. This is actually plus 15 influence per day per friendly enclave. And so we've started playing around with what buffs are available and what we can do with those buffs inside of the game. And so this one I've actually found this like in the deep dark recesses of things that happened before launch, and I was like, what does this thing do? And then I looked at it, I'm like, oh my god, that sounds actually really awesome.
That's funny. Like I'd forgotten that buff existed.
Yeah.
I think that it was something that we requested for a purpose like this. But yeah, I never actually put it into the game. I love that you found that. That's great, because that's exactly the kind of thing that the sheriff should be doing.
Yeah.
Is benefiting from having a lot of allies.
Yeah. And so what will eventually happen is that the sheriff is now encouraged to go out here and make more friends, make more allies, and do the best to keep the peace in the neighborhood, right? Now, this is an experiment, right? This is 100% an experiment on my part. S- Thanks, Steve-O. Is that us? No, it was more that it's more that like we wanted to get this out here, so it'll work properly before too long. But what happens right now? What happens right now, just as a warning, is it stays at the level that you're at when you build it. So like it doesn't have like a dynamic calculator. Zoe, our wondrous engineer and perfect person, actually went in and fixed that. So I don't know when it's slated, but the fix is already in. So it's super awesome.
So you could maybe that fix will come out after update 30. So update 30's version might be the static one, but then
Yep.
it might come in later on.
Yeah, it'll come in later on, and we're definitely building out a whole bunch of stuff that's like that. Um, like I said, new man, we're hoping soon. We're soon, TM. All right, so those are the changes to sort of the sheriff stuff. It's pretty light, and then we talked about the trader already. Really, the only thing that happened there was I increased the amount of influence you get, and then I also increased the cooldowns quite a bit. However, you can, if you want to work at it, still get it back down to basically having them on cooldown. And then let's recap real quick for the builder. The generator 3 is now super awesome. Um, it, we So you don't have to remember to turn it on to have power on all the time. It just happens to do it. And then you can also use it to sort of pump out, do what you do in places like Whitney Field and that type of thing. So now you can reduce threat/noise at home using your generator 3.